En este mundo en el que el ciberespacio, las redes sociales y los influencers son bastante importantes en la actualidad, la plataforma de streaming Star Plus suma a su catálogo un nuevo y atractivo título que toca estos temas de una manera particular. Falsa Influencer es una película que intenta explorar uno de los temas de mayor vigencia de los últimos años: los extremos impensados a los que puede llegar una persona con tal de convertirse en la próxima influencer de Internet. La producción, cuyo estreno fue el pasado 29 de julio, cuenta con un elenco de reconocidos actores, encabezado por Zoe Deutsch, Dylan O'Brien, Mia Isaac, entre otros. Y está dirigido por Quinn Shephard, quien nos cuenta más detalles sobre esta innovadora película.
Hi, Quinn. Congratulations for the movie. I had a blast. I loved your approach on this side of our reality in 2022 when social media can be like a very tricky terrain. Was there any particular story that made you think, okay, now I need to make a movie about it?
You know, this isn't based on a true story. I think it's more inspired by like a moment in time and like a moment in our culture that's like still going on, this like era of anxiety and like oversaturation of information, both like political and like terrifying like news information, but mixed with like advertisements and capitalism and influencer culture and all of that, and like we're ingesting it all on a daily basis. So I don't think it's necessarily one story, but like more like, yeah, these viral scammer stories that really like have become so zeitgeisty. We're definitely like a point of inspiration.
I also loved this marvelous portrayal of Danny Sanders, your main character. How would you describe her, and when did you think Zoe was like the perfect actress to play like this complex, tone-deaf, not so relatable, but relatable as well character?
I think you've described her perfectly. I mean, in the script when she's introduced, it says Danny Sanders, the least self-aware white girl you'll ever meet. Like that was her breakdown. And I think like honestly, that's like, yeah, I mean, I think she just represents totally like a complete tone deafness, a lack of self-awareness, but it's coming from an earnest place. I think Danny like is not malicious. She certainly doesn't think or realize that she might be the bad guy. I think Zoe completely saw her the same way. She's a very brave actress who like has always really gravitated towards these like complex female characters in her career. So I had her in mind from the very beginning. And I think, yes, she completely sums up that like, she's relatable, but she's also not afraid to go there and like make the character hateable at the same time, but also sympathetic. And like, she just really got that blend beautifully.
She was great. The whole cast was great as well. I would say like the main antagonist on Not Okay is like social media itself, and it particularly aims to two things I have mixed feelings about. First of all, you have like the influencer culture and how fake can it be? And second, in the contrary, the cancel culture and how real can it get? So what do you think of these two sides of the internet?
I think, you know, they're not easy to have like a black and white answer on. Like, I think ultimately, like the film is not a takedown of influencers. And I think similarly with cancel culture, there isn't a black and white answer on that either, because on one hand, it can be incredibly destructive and problematic. And there's this really like joyful feeling that people get from watching people fall and like watching them be tortured by the internet. But like rape threats and murder threats directed at women are not a solution for problematic behavior. So I think this film is less trying to give people a prescriptive like cancel culture is bad, influencers are evil, than it is just sort of going like, hey, you need to be aware of the influences of like what you're consuming on a daily basis and how you might be internalizing those. Because Danny's just like a product of her environment.
That's right. It's like crazy how disproportionate it is. Like you have this shallow validation of likes and followers, and contrary to the harassment and violence for some episodes we have seen in the cancel culture thing. What do you want the viewers to keep about Not Okay?
I mean, I definitely think that like all satire, my goal is that it makes you think on a larger scale about society, about our modern like era, especially for young people, like what we're consuming on a daily basis, how it impacts us, and also like how can we be critical of ourselves and like listen and think about our actions so that we don't all become Danny Sanders.
That's right.
Hi, Cinescape. This is Quinn Shephard, the director of Not Okay, and I'm inviting you to watch the film.
Tengan cuidado con sus deseos.